We always start off with the life and the times.
Grew up in Brazil, this little island called Florianopolis. Landed in Auckland, as you know, and then what I know was farm. Come to Queenstown, we'll go snowboarding, and I'll give you a job as a scaffolding industry. I've never been in a construction site in my life. He showed me what it was, and that was a big job. Like, oh my God, is that what I'm gonna do? This is big, you know? And I hate it, man.
You hated it?
I hate it, man. The first week.
No cranes?
Nah, you park the truck at the bottom, gear's gotta go up.
Wow.
Who's gonna carry the gear?
You know what they say? So from New Zealand to where?
Sydney.
Sydney. You love Sydney?
When I landed, they're amazing.
Straight back to scaffolding?
No, I want to stay away from scaffolding. No, I'll give up. Nah, mate, I'll land. Yeah.
So what was the transition to Perth?
The mining.
Yep.
Yeah, if I have to build a career in mining, I have to move to WA and I have to make it work in WA. And I did, and now I'm glad. I love this place, man. I love Perth, and I'm a great citizen of Perth.
Welcome back to the Gold Room Podcast. Thanks very much for tuning in to another episode. I'm bloody lucky to be here today with Scott, my main man Scott, back again for another episode, and Shane from Lima Scaffolding. Mate, thank you very much for tuning in.
Thanks for being here, man.
Tuning
awesome.
in, coming in, whatever. Mate, so what we do is we always start off, I know you've seen a couple of episodes, we always start off with the life and the times. Now, when we had you in the studio the other day, you were able to give me a bloody good rundown. You're obviously from Brazil, but I'm going to hand it over to you, mate. Tell us everything that we need to know about you.
So, grew up in Brazil, this little island called Florianopolis. Done all my school life there, finished my school. Awesome growing up, man. I was blessed with just skateboarding, surfing, chasing girls.
Yep.
That was before the phone era, so I had a really growing up, you know, really enjoy the nature, literally surfing all day, you know, and then, like I said, skateboarding has always been my passion.
Awesome.
And yeah, that's where I'm from, man. Brazilian, born and bred. Yeah.
Wicked. So what led you to travel internationally?
So
obviously you're here now. Where did you go? Where were you before?
So-
What happened after school?
yeah, so finish year 12, and back in Brazil, after you finish year 12, you kind of got to start uni. You have to start a uni to get somewhere.
Yep.
But I always had the love to go somewhere else before the uni. And then I spent a summer in New Zealand, 2003.
Yep.
So I was in New Zealand for 3 months, and then the first month was the same thing, just surfing, chasing girls, skateboarding everywhere, but then I ran out of money.
Yeah.
Then I'll start working in New Zealand in the farms.
Yeah.
And then in the first week...
Dairy farming?
picking apples.
Okay.
So then in the first week, $300, $400 pay, you know, in a week.
You like that?
I love that. But then I spent 2 months picking apple, and then all my money I put in tattoos.
Oh, really?
then I ran out of money, and then I left. I went back home to start the uni then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I spent a summer in 2003.
What did you study in uni?
IT.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, started, didn't finish.
Yeah.
But that's what you do in Brazil. You gotta kind of have to go. I always had a love for the computers. That was my first job. Started like 15 years old. Yeah. Just building desktops and then upgrade them and sell. And that was my job. And I was also doing that on the side to get some cash money.
Yeah, wicked.
So that's when I kind of started my business, like 15, 16.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So you went back to New Zealand?
So then I go back to Brazil after New Zealand, and then everything changed, man. New Zealand just changed my mind. Simple as my name. Everyone could actually pronounce my name in New Zealand.
Yep.
Shane. They couldn't pronounce in Brazil. So when I got to New Zealand, like, hey, well, how are you, Shane? I'm like, oh my God, I'll belong here. And then I went back to Brazil and I saw the system. I saw people just the uni and then working all the uni to get that kind of money. And then I remember the boys in New Zealand working construction, making $500 a week. And then I said to my mom, I said, nah, I don't, there's something out there bigger than just this kind of lifestyle. And then I just done a full year there, and then sold everything I had. My mom said it was crazy. She's like, nah, you be selling everything. You'll be here in 5 months. And I said, nah, I know what I'm doing now. I'm going back there and I'm going to try my life in New Zealand. So, yeah, sold everything that I had, and then went back to New Zealand. I was 20 years old.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Where did you end up in New Zealand?
I landed in Auckland,
Yeah.
as you know, and then what I know was farm.
Yep.
So straight away I went to move to Gisborne because I had a good surfing there, and I had an awesome skate park right at the beach, man.
Yeah.
And then started in Gisborne until I meet this Kiwi guy in the water,
Yep.
and he said, "Hey, come to Queenstown. We'll go snowboarding, and I'll give you a job as a scaffold in the scaffold industry."
Work it.
And then I did, yeah.
Work it. So that's how you kicked off your job in scaffolding.
So you got to Queenstown, and then he was already starting. He already scaffolded there. Got me a job at scaffolding in Queenstown, and then that time they were sponsoring people, giving work visa.
Awesome.
And I needed that. I needed that kind of that visa. Then I just started scaffolding. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, that's sort of nearly where I was going to ask, what was it before? But you've given us a great rundown. And so scaffolding, you kind of fell into by accident. It wasn't the plan. You didn't come across going, you know what, that looks like an industry I'm going to go to, or it was just that opportunity?
That was I didn't even know what scaffolding was.
So it all came down to you picked a place for surfing and skating, and it's worked out into this.
Mate, I was when they
How many people would say, what a dumb decision to make? You can't judge life off that, and it's funny how things work out, isn't it?
Mate, I was when they told me scaffold, I didn't know what scaffolding was at all. I had no idea. I've never been in a construction site in my life. And when he showed me what it was, and it was big job, like, oh my God, is that what I'm gonna do? Yeah. And straight away like, oh, this is big, And I hate it, man.
You hated it?
I hate it, man. The first week, I hate it, man. The first day, Billy's gonna pick you up. Billy Tamariki, man, one of the best scaffolders I ever come across. And then he picked me up, and this guy was a big Maori boy, man. So I'm sitting in the truck with him. I'm like this. I'm like, oh, hey, have you scaffolded before? I say, nope. And he's going, you in for a treat, man. Man, awesome. They kill me, man. First week, I was literally 7 to 5, home, didn't sleep.
Yeah, awesome.
The first week, I said, nah, I can't do this.
You just toughed it out and carried on.
Man, I had to because the visa. Yep. But in the first week, I'll decide, I say, hey, man, I'm not continue. I'm going back to farm. And then
what they say?
They're like, nah, man, you have to stay on. So I say, nah, man, this is too hard. Man, they bully me, man. They bully me every day, bash me. They try to, kill me in the first week. Yeah. And I almost got to the point that I left, but because the visa, I needed it, and I was in Queenstown, awesome place.
Beautiful, isn't it?
I was living amazing out, snowboarding as well. And I was just like, nah, I have to see through it. And then I did, yeah.
How many months do you reckon it took before you were like slinging bloody 8 boards?
Dude, I think a year.
Was it?
A year until I literally just like love it.
Okay.
From hated from the first week, after 1 year, I'm a proud scaffolder, man.
Awesome. Man.
You know what I mean?
That's
I'm just literally like a lot. In New Zealand, they do it properly. Yep. In New Zealand, your school is proper, so you don't get a tool belt in your first week. They make you work for that belt. So I was literally laboring for 2 years until I actually got my first belt.
Really?
People don't understand that. Yep. They just get a belt in the first training and they scaffold it. Now I was
here. You mean here in Australia?
Yeah. How the system works over here has to be faster because the demand is so high.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's just a different country. But over there, they make sure you don't put the belt on, and then which is good for you because you got 2 years lagging gear, getting bullied, old school way.
Can't do that these days, brother.
And you toughen up.
No way.
Yeah, but you toughen up. You build it. I got built in a hard school. Yep. And I prefer. I'm glad that I haven't been on the hard school because everything got easy after that.
Well, hard things, hard times make for hard men. Okay, and that's, you're right. We can't do that today and things, but with certainly going through hard times and things, different experiences completely to yours, but going through hardship, something I can relate to. It builds character, it builds toughness, it makes you learn what you can do within yourself. So every task gets hard. Step by step, you get through it and you start to go, I've achieved that. Okay, the next step. Every time you need to face that next big challenge. It might not always be physical. Now that you're a business owner and all that sort of stuff, you face constant challenges, hardship, and it might not be physical, but you've learnt that resilience and you've learnt, all right, I've got to push through this, I've got to go. So what an awesome way to relate into everything you've built today. Is it might have just been the fact that you had to work cop a bit of flack and all that, and
Yeah.
earn your stripes, you know, to be one of the boys for 2 years before you kind of got given the tool belt. Is that what?
Yeah.
we're talking? Yeah.
Scaffy's tool belt, mate.
Yeah. By the time I got that belt, man, I was flying.
Yeah, real good.
Oh, yeah. Because you get to watch everything. Yep. And because I had no English, right? So I landed in New Zealand, I got minimum English. So my method was, I can't be sitting around talking, because I can't talk.
Yeah.
They're not going to like me because they like to talk, right? Yeah. So my method was, I have to work harder than anybody.
Work it.
Yeah.
And that was my way through. And on the beginning, man, they just go like,
Shane the Brazilian.
Yeah.
It's just a weapon on the tools.
Yeah, and then it started like just literally just working harder than anybody. Don't stop for just earning my position there. And got to the point there, man, every single job there, that when it gets harder there, which is Queenstown, is all hills.
Yep.
All hills. No
Great
crane.
for snowboarding.
No crane, but no cranes.
No cranes?
Now, you park the truck at the bottom, gear's got to go up.
Wow.
Who's going to carry the gear?
You know what the Kiwis say? The Kiwis say, do the mahi, get the treats. And that's,
Mahi hard.
Yep.
And who's going to carry the gear? I'm carrying the gear. The difference was, they look at that hill, and they looked at the hill and said, oh, hey, the Brazilian boy is going to work hard today. I'm already on a mission.
Yep.
I'll run up with that gear.
Work.
I don't walk, I run.
Yep.
To show them, I say, mate, this is nothing on my mission. I'm here for long term.
How many years were you in Queenstown for? How long did it take to get your permanent residency in New Zealand?
About 3 years.
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah, but left before.
That's a good transition.
Yeah.
But left before?
Citizen.
You left before getting your citizenship over there?
Yeah.
So you got your citizenship over here?
I do, yeah.
Proud Australian.
Australian,
I love
mate.
it, mate.
Australian,
I love
mate.
it.
I got sick of the cold in New Zealand.
Oh, you got sick of the cold?
Had to go. I had to leave, man.
Yeah.
I had to
it's
leave.
bloody cold
It's
there.
cold,
It's
man.
freezing, yeah.
I had to leave. I got to the point I was just like, I missed the sunny weather,
Yeah.
In Australia, man, if you've been in Brazil, it's a very similar lifestyle.
Yep.
Even the Australians, they kick
On the
back
East
and-
Coast or Perth?
I'd say more East Coast, but Perth also, like you go drink your beer at the beach and all that kind of stuff. Brazil very similar to that. So when I got here, I felt home, yeah.
Cool. So from New Zealand to where?
Sydney.
Sydney. You love Sydney?
When I landed there, amazing.
Yep.
Oh my God. When I landed in Sydney, December 2007,
Yep.
and I was straight to Manly.
Yeah, okay.
I couldn't believe it, man.
Straight back to scaffolding?
No, I want to stay away from scaffolding. No, I'll give up. Nah, man, I'll land. One thing I wasn't going to do was a scaffolding. I was over it.
It's the bloke
He just jumped in, landed. It was straight on
What'd you do?
internet research, skate parks, beaches. Where can I surf and skate?
Yes.
That was priorities.
That
Worked out before. So
the destiny just kept me going with the scaffold. That's crazy because I got to New Zealand, and I met this Kiwi guy in the snowboard in Queenstown.
Yep.
He owned a construction business in Sydney.
Awesome.
Jason, awesome fella, man. He's still my brother to this day. That was my first boss.
Yeah.
So I landed there. He's like, all right, I'll do brickwork, demolition, all that, and obviously we do got some scaffolding too. And I said, no worries, I'll do your brickwork and demolition, but no scaffolding. I ended up doing all his scaffolding, and it just yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what was the transition to Perth?
So the mining.
Yep.
Yeah. So the decision was I had some friends in the mines here, and then they keep calling me because I had all the experience with tubing clip in New Zealand, which is mine is most tubing, the system of scaffolding, tubing fitting, tubing clip. And then one of my boss in New Zealand was running a company here,
Okay.
which called Pilbara Access. They gave him the first opportunity in the mines. When I landed in the mines, first job in the mines, they say, nah, you lead a hand. Straight away, I got there to the mines. But it was the moving to Perth because the mining. And I did move, end up moving back to Sydney because I didn't like.
You didn't like the mining?
I didn't like Perth.
You didn't like Perth?
Nah, when I moved.
What didn't you like about it? Obviously something changed because you live here now and you're running
So
a
when I
business there.
5 years in Sydney, about that, and then I got to Perth, it was just too small. There wasn't much going on, and then I could fly direct from. They would fly me direct from Sydney to Karratha.
Yep.
So I was like, just stay in Sydney. But then I got sick of it as well, the flights, and then I made a decision. Now, if I have to build a career in mining, I have to move to WA and I have to make it work in WA. And I did. And now I'm glad. I love this place, man. I love Perth, and I'm a great citizen of Perth. So,
Yep.
yeah.
So the name, Lima Scaffolding. So where does it come from? Is it an acronym? Give me some information about that.
I just want to jump in here and say, mate, it's a nice change. Like the gold room shirt I love, obviously. But this Lima Scaffolding and Resources is
It is a nice fitting, comfortable shirt. You put it on, I was like, oh, yeah.
And I think before he gave me mine, he sprayed a little bit of bloody cologne on it. I don't know if that was like a you smell bad or here's an awesomely smelling shirt.
It's a Lima perfume, by the way. Nah. It's a Lima fragrance. So my last name is Lima.
Okay.
Shane Lima. My dad had a company, pharmacy called Lima as well. That was, but the main reason was I was working for these big corporations on mining, and obviously you have your back-to-back coordinators or supervisor, but they used to just call, just get Lima boys here to do the job. They don't call the name of the business, they call Lima boys. I was working for this corporation, but because I always had the idea of you always have to work for your name. Doesn't matter what company you work for, you must work for your name. We only have one name. It's a very small industry, so Shane Lima, one name. So even I work for big companies, I always work for me. And this is how I'll create the teams, I'll build the motivation with the teams, I'll create programs with the teams. So they always say, just get Lima boys here, they get it done. Lima boys, Lima crew, Lima. So it's no brainer.
So it's almost already a brand.
Yes.
You were a recognisable name or,
Yes.
team before you even created,
Yes.
Lima Scaffolding.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What a way to do it.
Yeah.
I've been told similar things from other business owners. As soon as you can get your name, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, what you're doing. If you can get your name out there, the name is recognisable. They're like, get that, trademark it, get that for your registered company, and use that. That was advice I got from sort of one of my mentors, or Bob Cooper. In my background there, he was the first thing he said, and he's bang on right, because I still hear his name everywhere. And you've again proof that this theory is absolutely accurate. That's awesome.
It's such a small industry, man. The mining, the mining $1 trillion industry, or 200 mines in WA. The industry is little. We recruit. I don't go on sick, ever. And I never done a post on sick. Everything that I recruit, people that I recruit, is people that I know, or my boys know them.
Yep, awesome.
And I'll see the name. I remember the name. This guy was really good.
Referral. That's the way to go.
The name doesn't matter what company you work for. I'm going to work for someone else. Never burn your bridge and look after that name, because that name will get you to those jobs that you dream of,
Yeah, for sure. Mate, what industries is Lima Scaffolding in?
So we focus, we've been on mining. We do a lot of mining works, project works, shutdowns, maintenance, defense. We don't do houses, stuff like that. It's never been the goal. So most of the work is in mine and resources. So we do energy, power stations,
awesome,
all that kind of stuff.
Oil and gas?
Oil and gas, a little bit of oil and gas.
Nice.
Haven't touched too much that yet, but it's slowly getting those opportunities through the door. At the moment, we're getting there.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so from where Lima started, you would have had your goals set out. You're working towards them. Have the goals changed? Have you shifted direction? Tell me a little bit about where you see the future and how you guys are going and achieving those goals.
So we started with a business partner in 2021. I used to call a different name. I call Scope Australia. And then we changed to Scope Access, more into the Access division kind of thing. And that was 2021. 2 years later, we kind of divide. He continued his path. He had different goals. He ended up moving to a different country. And then that's when I was no-brainer. I could continue with the name, which is Scope Access, but it made more sense for me. Even with Scope Access, they continue the same. They just get Lima Crew here. So it's no-brainer for me to just change the entities, change the name, and just start the path.
Awesome.
For Lima Scaffolding Resources. Yep. Yeah. Awesome. We the goals always been the kind of straight to the A-League. I really know start being a big company is you got to start big. And it's always been the mine because my background and the context that I create over the 12 years in mining. I build a lot of, my network is enormous, and all my networks now are they either managers, CEOs, superintendents, all that kind of stuff. So our goal is to being a niche scaffolding business, delivering quality end-to-end solutions.
Yep.
But it has shifted a little bit over the time, which is I've seen the demand of other trades within the business, and then that's when I started. We got a little bit of rigging going on, and we also move into different things now that I can't disclose as yet, but we are moving slowly to the industrial service. Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
Shane, how do you develop a strong team? How many blokes you got working for you at the moment?
Up and down, from 20 to 50.
Yep.
It depends the demand, but usually around 30 in the field every day.
How do you develop them? How do you make sure, like obviously from
Good question.
your early days, there's no bullying on site. You're not loading someone up. So how does Lima Scaffolding develop their team?
That's a great question. It has to start from the bottom up. So the way I see, you have to build connection. I hate bullying. Yep. I hate working in bad environments. I've been there. Yep. You haven't been there as well. Yep. So these days, to build a strong team, you have to build strong individuals, man. It has to start with the individual. The individual also got a family. Sometimes you gotta also, when you mobilize someone to site, you actually mobilize the whole family. Yep. You need to talk to his wife, make sure the kids are okay. If he's going for a 4-week swing, you gotta, hey man, you okay? I've sent flowers to their wives.
Have you?
Yeah.
And it's just
That's a big thank you. That's an awesome company.
Yeah, so the like I said, there's some awesome blokes out there that works with me, and then they just take in last call minutes, man. They go for 3-week swings, and they go to the job, They don't go there, this is too hard. No, they go there and smash it. So those guys, I appreciate not just them, but also the family, also the kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They got beautiful kids, so I'll try to stay connected with them when I can, And then I've created this kind of program a long time because I see the people falling kind of apart in the industry after long swings. So it's kind of like started with this 1% program that you start with your bed in the morning, come from the army as well. You do your bed in the morning, and you have to do your bed in the morning. You do your bed in the morning, and you start it right. You go for your breakfast, make sure it's healthy. You hydrate. So all those controls in place to build a strong team, like I say, it's individually. I can't build a team with weak individuals.
Yep.
Oh, you got an awesome team, but they on the piss all night last night. How's that a strong team? Yep. So I really take individually, yep. and then who you live with, you got your mom and dad, or what's your story. So you really connect with your people, and it has to start like the bottle up. When I say bottle up, I've learned with this great man, and it's like the bottle is not like they're in the bottle, but your people are the field, right? What they need. Yep. What they need in the field. It's not like we need an office, you need an extra coffee or whatever. No. What your people need, it has to be bottom up. Yep. So if they got everything they need in the field, good environment, their tools, whatever they need, it's good, it goes up. Yep. Yeah, we always say, start from the top down. That too. But if your bottlers doesn't have what they need, if they're not strong doing their job, you like many corporations doing now, it's just a weak team everywhere, So now I'll connect to my people, man. I'm very connected with my people. I know what they need. I know the weakness. I know their strength, and then I'll help them on the way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I suppose a little bit in line with what you're talking about with your team and things like that. Massive thing at the moment, diversity. It's huge in the industry. How do you see it changing the environment, the work environment? Is it working well for you? Give me your thoughts on that. Where do you land in this area?
Are there many women in scaffolding?
There are.
There is?
Really?
Yeah.
No,
Awesome.
They are.
I don't mean to be shocked. I don't mean to sound shocked. Even though I did sound shocked. I just think I've seen the scaffy bros out on site, and they are doing some crazy heavy lifting. They're up and down scaffolding like there's no tomorrow. And obviously it's more of a male dominated industry, hands down. But you've got women on your team.
The woman came in a long time ago. There always has been woman in the scaffold industry.
Awesome.
The last 4 years, it's probably more.
Cool.
Back to the question there, it's a hard question, but it's a good question. I believe in competency, man. That's what I believe.
Yep.
As simple as that. I've been in positions that the above forced me to put women in management positions. I have been there, and I pushed back because that particular woman wasn't ready for that position. So when the challenge would come in, she would collapse. So I believe if you're competent in what you do, either you a man or woman, whatever you are, yeah, I'll give you a job. But I won't give you a job if you're not competent and you got pink hair and you decided to do whatever to be diversity. No, there's no job in Lima for those kind of individuals. Yeah. There's jobs for individuals that are competent.
Competency based. And I think a lot of that you're seeing in the media now, that's where I think the push against some of this stuff you see. And I don't think it's pushed by, a small minority. I think vast majority of people, men, women, pick any diversity or minority group, everyone, I find majority of the time, would rather be looked at based on their competencies, because then they know if I work hard, I'm going to be looked on favourably, rather than if I just look like I got this position because of who I am.
Sometimes it's just the minority out there screaming,
it's very loud.
And then they really loud, and then they look like they are a majority. But there's also that people don't want to stand up for what they believe in, and at the risk of sounding or looking like they don't back that particular group or organisation.
And the beauty of what your company is doing, you have diversity based off competency.
Yeah.
You've achieved it
through
that, which proves it works.
Yeah, man.
Just might not suit the people that aren't willing to be pushing for the competency side rather than filling a...
I had some great women, man, scaffolders.
Yep.
And the thing is with women, man, they're so good. Like if you got a, say you got a super crew, right? You got 6 scaffolders and one is a woman. And you go to the job, the paperwork is spot on. All the little details, this woman, man, just got that.
The attention to detail?
Yeah. Does she end up running the crew?
Yep. It's you gotta say, man, they add so much value that I'm always, like I said, but they competent in what they do. They're not there just, hey, there's some tough woman out there that man, they're welcome to my team any day of the week.
Cool.
There is some tough, some Kiwi girls and some Aussie girls, man, they in for the challenge, and then I'll welcome them, man.
And you see this in families, right?
Yeah.
Through pick a culture, it doesn't matter. You have matriarchal systems. You have women in there. I've got women in my family. They are sort of the head matriarchs of the family.
Yeah.
You don't get on their wrong side. They might have 2 feet over the top of them and 50 kilos. They'll bring me back down real quick. My grandmother, she was our matriarch. She was under 5 foot, but she ran the family. She's like a little bantam hen, mate, just on top of everyone. So they're very strong women, and the attention to detail they offer, as I mentioned before, I brought. My wife kind of brought herself on. I didn't think she was willing to. She now runs the business side of my operation 10 times better than I can do.
Agree. And look, man, the mine is a better place now.
Yeah,
the mine environment is a better place with the woman.
Yeah,
they own positions. It's better. It's better. It's more normal.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we used to go up for 6 week swings. You don't see a woman, man. It's just I wasn't there. But now there's some quality woman coming through, making the environment. They're looking on details like we don't see, like you said, and they're making a better environment, man. And that's awesome. They're welcome, man. They're welcome. Yeah. It's definitely
awesome answer, mate. That was
that was great.
Perfect.
Shane, a lot of people are chasing the entrepreneurial mining dream. You'd see it out there all the time. What's some advice that you have to anyone wanting to start a business in mining?
Can I say everything here? Or?
Yeah.
You need big balls, man.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want here.
You need big balls.
Yep.
It's tough.
Yep.
Not for everyone. It can be a beautiful journey. It's a tough journey, man. And then if you want to I've seen it that when I start my business, and I'll see so many guys starting a business as well, and they're gone in period of months. Oh, I'm doing my business too. Man, everything is expensive to run a business. Everything's expensive. The taxes.
Hidden costs everywhere.
Everywhere. Yep. Just insurance-wise, scaffolding is $100,000 a year.
Yep.
That's just insurance alone. So, do I recommend it? Yeah, man. If you got balls and if you got a vision, and if you're willing to miss all your holidays and your family days and your pick-up school days, if you're willing to do that, go hard.
Yeah.
But do not start a business to have a balanced lifestyle.
Yeah. That is never a true word spoken.
We kind of said something similar before with...
in the last episode.
It was... it's just crazy to think... I think anyone that... And I'm only new to running a business and things like that. It is so true. It is the best and worst thing I've ever done, but the level of reward, and when things are good, it feels amazing. When things are bad, it's hard, it's tough, but you need balls, you've got to push through. You need that tenacity. Yeah.
That's what makes a person, is that you've got to have, and I've spoken about this so many times, is you've got to have those tough times.
100%.
You've got to have those, you've got to get those no's, you've got to have those, oh shit, I fucked that right up. And but it's how you come back from that. It's those wins that are all, they mean all that much.
That's absolutely right. A friend of mine described he's got quite a large company, and he described being a company owner early on to me, just as I'd bought it. He goes, it's kind of like being a firefighter. He goes, I'm just constantly putting out spot fires. Every now and then there's a big fire front. And once I got spot fires out, it's smooth sailing. The best thing I've ever done with my life. Spot fires, I'm like, it's a hassle. And then that big fire comes through, and you're like, oh my God, am I going to get through this? But
Man, I like it.
Look,
I really like it.
Ask me, would you do it again? Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't work for anyone else ever again. It's the problems don't stop. You be in the office 7 days a week, and then you do everything right. And on that Monday morning, 6 in the morning, you get a message, "Hey man, I missed the flight." What do you mean missed the flight? You set up everything perfect. Your whole team missed the flight. That's your Monday morning, or even your Sunday morning. Or you're gonna go with your family somewhere. Boom, you just go ruin your Sunday. And that don't stop. Oh no, but you're working. No, that won't stop. The more you grow, the more pain it is. So it's like, if you want to start a business, are you fit mentally and physically to start a business?
So true.
Are you? Because if you drink your beers every day, or if you don't have dolphins come, if you're in dolphins, if you don't, you can't do it. Because the challenge is going to be there, mentally and physically exhausting. That's why I'm so passionate about gym, I'm purple belt in jiu-jitsu. It's just that built my mental toughness, awesome. Because the problem won't stop. It doesn't.
Yeah, that is, and it's echoed by so many successful people that talk about very similar things. And I mean, you've just touched on it there, which was going to be one of the points that I wanted to ask. Is mental health is obviously a huge thing that has really popped up in the last sort of few years in this industry, and with my defence background, it's absolutely huge there. And then a lot of my family have a policing background. It's police or defence mainly in my family. Huge everywhere. And so what's your take on it in the industry now? What's your experiences with it? How do you guys sort of, I suppose, support your workers? And I know that you do a lot with the family stuff that you've already touched on, which is fantastic, but I guess, let me know what your take on that mental health side of the
great area.
work.
Yeah, very. It came out. Mental health for mining sort of came in like last 4 years, I'd say 5 years.
Yeah, the DEMA's are the new regs and act. They talk about psychosocial.
That's a buzzword that you hear.
Yeah, amazing. I was doing 6-week swings in the mines. We never spoke about mental health. Everyone's probably doing tough somewhere, breaking families everywhere, and we just turn up to work every day. So I kind of like, for me, I just don't like the mental health is understand, but I just don't like people taking advantage of that topic to make money. So for me, I lost a little bit of interest on that part when I saw a lot of people creating a lot of business about mental health. And then you look in the person and say, you don't look healthy to me. Mental health, how can I learn with you? Do I take serious? Of course. My 2 sisters depressed. You know, I lost my dad when I was young. My 2 sisters, they kind of live, I'll never understand what depression was. I've never been depressed one day in my life. You know, I've been sad, yes. My work has been sad, but I haven't never been depressed. Why? I believe you need physically. That's why I got those tools to protect me to get to that level that I need to go to speak to someone about mental health. Man, the life is hard as it is. Yep. You know, life is very hard. Do I have a time for my guys? Of course. If they see there's something going on, and they do every day, something going on, we have a chat. But what I'm going to offer to them is say, hey, come to the gym with me 5 in the morning. Come train with jiu-jitsu with me 6 in the morning.
But what about if they turn around and say, oh, I'd love to, but I've got to sink these 6 to 10 cans at the wet mess with the rest of the boys?
That's the problem. You see, you look in the mine sites, the gym is 20 square meters. The wet mess is 100 square meters.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then that's what we got all this. You can call this number. We got offered this. But are you often what the previous to get to that point that I'm depressed? Because if you tell me that I got this situation in life, I had all the situations in life. Yep. My mother was a housewife. My dad died when I was 4. She never been in school. My mom, she had 3 kids. Yep. I grew up with nothing, man. So I was ready to grow up with challenging. So when the mental health, it's there. Just don't take advantage. That's why you're not doing your job. Yep. That's why you gotta fly home. You know, we can talk, or what is it? There's always gonna be something, man. Your kid done something wrong. Maybe your brother done something wrong. It's always gonna be a challenge that the life will get you sad if you allow the life to get you sad.
Yep, that's
mate, excellent. I love that.
It's the depth of it.
Yeah, it's almost a simplicity, and a lot of people have started speaking about it now as well. Is it the way to no longer be depressed is to pull yourself out of it. And I could probably relate this more to my military background and with people that they love diagnosing post-traumatic stress, depression, anxiety, the list goes on. Some of the most effective things that I've seen for guys, especially when they've gotten out and they've lost their team, lost their camaraderie, lost, you know, and when I say the boys, it could be women as well, you know, their team around them. It's the loss of that team. Getting yourself around, grabbing someone who might be having a tough time, get up, let's do some stuff together. We're going to go to the gym, we're going to do some jiu-jitsu, we're going to do training, whatever it is. The physical training side, you get that endorphin release. There's no denying that. Absolutely bang on. But it's that time, it's one-on-one where you're doing something with someone else. And that's where some of these military groups have started pulling away from going, not just saying that some people don't need that medical professional, they need the time back with, you know, the boys and getting everyone back together. They're going out, sitting by a campfire, doing stuff together. They're getting out fishing, they're getting out hunting. Yeah.
The social,
hiking, that's powerful.
And
physical.
Agree.
That physical side, it is.
Maybe that's what Dimas means in the psychosocial.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get someone. I've actually approached Dimas.
Yeah.
To get someone on. They're doing some political nonsense at the moment.
I think
it would be great to be able to find out exactly what they mean. You know, you can read through the regs.
Yeah.
And understand what a lawyer is trying to say, but deep down, what do Dimas actually want out of this psychosocial?
Being a business owner, you know for a fact, they'll test your mental health. They'll test you, man. Like when you got 100,000 payrolls come every week, and then you're not getting paid your wages for 6 months, and then you think it's challenging, man. It's challenge your mental health. So you just have to. You do what you got to do.
I think Joe Dirt said it the best. He said you just got to keep on keeping on.
Keep on, keep on, and don't.
Joe Dirt.
The first thing you do when you're on the body is just step out of, man. Yeah. And then that's how you start. But don't quit. Yeah. Don't quit. Keep on going, man. Keep on going. There's always sun. The sun always gonna shine the next day. Yeah. You have to keep it going. But yeah.
Now that is a very, very real thing to push through. And I'll admit I've had, my dark times and things, and
Which is
it
good.
was always just that.
Did
Let's
they
see how it
last?
is tomorrow. Let's
Did
get
they
to
last
tomorrow.
for long? What was
Some of
so
the worst things would just be, it could be a really, really dark, dark, the darkest of thoughts, and it might only last for 15 minutes, an hour. It gets a little bit better, but you push through. And I suppose there is something called, it's a medical diagnosed term, I believe it's rapid onset despair. It could be rapid onset depression. Wow. The only reason I would touch on this, but it's my sister took her own life. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. Is it okay to talk about it? So,
of course, you can talk about anything.
If you ever, that's not a military rising sun. That was a tattoo she wanted to get. That we, the family, we all got that afterwards with the coordinates of where we spread her ashes. But she was young, she's under 30. She had a full life ahead of her, doing really well. Loved her job as a police officer. It wasn't related to the stress. It was the stress of life. It was a really, there was just a tough time, and that's what they put it down to. Is that they probably said this rapid onset despair, if you just push through that additional 10 minutes, 15 hour, whatever, she would have got through it. And it was, the early morning, they think sometime, and it was none of us in the family saw it. We were all, we're talking to her. She had a lot of things. I'd seen her just a week before. Yeah. There was no signs that I saw. I knew that, she was going, I'm a bit stressed, but seeking help. And it was just one of those things with mental health. You push on to see the light of the next day, and take that extra step.
Can't.
Some people can't.
It is, yeah.
That's
and it's just
wild.
it's all you have to do is just get through that little part, and then we can go on and up and up.
I think it comes down. Like I lost a good friend on the. I was on the building this power station in the Pilbara, and I couldn't believe it, man. This guy.
You lost a friend while out on site.
Yeah.
He took his life out on site.
Yep.
Oh wow!
And this guy,
I struggle with that.
he was my supervisor. This guy was good, man. Like he's awesome supervisor. Raul, by the way, rest in peace. He's just cool, man. That was Saturday. We had the audio on Sunday. Everybody does what they do on Sunday. You sleep to 10 o'clock, go to the gym. People drink last night, whatever. And then on Monday morning, he didn't turn up.
Oh my gosh!
But the thing is, man, I just couldn't understand that time. Like, what do you mean? This guy's in the gym, looks good, supervisor.
How did that affect? This is so off the cuff.
Yeah.
This is wild. But how did that affect the team? How did that affect everybody on that crew? Incoming crew, outgoing crew. What about the client?
They affected bad, man. We couldn't do no work. I think we had I was 4 weeks on, 1 week off, so we still had 2 weeks to go. I remember some of these clothes might flew home. Like I said to you, I'm just kind of like, I was sad. I'll just carry on, but it was weird environment, man. It was weird environment. Like this guy was giving orders, instructions on Saturday, and then on Monday he's gone.
Yeah. Gone forever.
That was weird, man. It hit me. I think it hit me on my R&R. Because we used to catch up for coffee on the fly back. Same coffee shop. Yeah. At the Qantas airport. Same coffee shop. Everyone turned up there. He wasn't there. That was weird, man. That was that's when I sort of probably. It was happening a lot those days. I didn't even know. That was actually happening with other mine sites as well. So, but yeah, I remember to these days, and that was like too hard to understand in a way. Why? You had everything.
Yeah, I struggle with the whole thing.
I struggle, man.
I'll never understand the why. I've spoken to so many different people about this.
Maybe there is a chemical imbalance. That we don't know. I can't speak about it because I'm not expert. All I know is I had my two sisters just growing up, and they're always sad, and I'm like, why? And they take these pills. Yep. And then you get a little bit sad. They want to give you this pill too. And I'm going like, why? I'm going to go surf, man. See you later. I got these girls to chase, man. I'm gone. Yeah. But I don't know.
It's getting out and living, and the more you withdraw yourself away, it tends to, it's a kind of self-fulfilling negative downward spiral, I suppose you call that, and getting out and doing those things. And I did a jet ski course in Hawaii, and one of the guys, he was ex-big wave surfer. He'd been through a lot. Awesome dude, Hawaiian guy, like local Hawaiian. And he was a big believer for the ocean. It cleanses you every morning. If my wife says, and this guy was a tank, his wife would say, no, you're having a day, you need to get down, go and cleanse yourself in the ocean. You dive in.
Wife.
Salt water.
Yeah.
It was
Salt water, man.
Yeah,
Salt
mate.
water is beautiful, man.
Cisco Pascoe said the same thing.
Yeah.
The prospector. He said the same thing. That's what he loved. Living in Margaret River and just getting out into the ocean. And it was, like meditation.
Yeah. We used to say growing up, even in New Zealand, we used to say, surf will save you.
Yeah.
Because if you go out, get on the piece with the boys, you hang over, you go for paddle, 10 minutes later, you're brand new.
Yeah,
it's a salt water, man.
Yeah.
It's something and people start stopping doing those things. And even like we getting old, we stop like skating. Yeah. We get thrown with like the problems with life. We stopping like, some people stop gym or jiu-jitsu, whatever you do, boxing, whatever, they stop doing that. And then that's where kind of like you starting getting sad with little things. And we're going like, ooh, I actually got away from my actual life. I might have to go back surfing again, go back skating, go back catch up with the lads. Yeah. And that will keep you going, man.
Yeah. That is your pill.
Yeah.
That
so.
living life, that's what gets that endorphin. That gets them going again. It's our feel-good hormones. They get through there. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, the natural endorphins. Get those into you first before trialing those other pills.
And
but I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physician.
Yeah.
So don't listen to me.
I'm a complete idiot, actually.
I've got full retardation. I don't need to be out there. But you said go surfing. I'm like, oh, shit.
And make sure you got the team around you. They got your back, your partner. I'm blessed that I've actually got a good wife. Yeah. That on those days she pushed me through, And
she's a business owner as well, isn't she?
She's also a business owner.
She give a little plug to Patron Barbers in King Street.
King Street.
That's where I got this fresh to death fade yesterday.
Yeah, man.
Cut back some of the greys. I was bloody wrapped.
Man, that wasn't. I think the wife is if there wasn't for her, probably maybe wouldn't even be Lima.
Really?
She really sometimes you're going. But sometimes someone else just come in and say, "No, you can go more."
Oh, wow.
And that's that team, the team thing.
That's team, man.
Yeah, you need a wife behind you or beside you, and you guys, you pick each other up when you need it, and you push on. And I've had my wife push me through, failures and hard times, and without her kicking me.
Man, I was a proud single man.
Yeah.
And I got married at 39 years old, first time. Because I'm going.
There's hope for me. I'm 40.
I'm pushing single, mate. I was like, I'm good. I like travel. I like my things. Yeah. But then, God had different plans.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah,
mate. What does success look like for you personally? What do you think success is? Because as you know, it's not just money.
Nah. So success is travel, people that you love on a Monday.
Yep.
Yeah. Success is walking the beach. With your dog on the Tuesday morning. Yep. That's success.
Yep.
You'll be able to go for lunch with your mates on where everyone's working. That's success. Just be peace with yourself. Have integrity, and build people up, grow people.
Yep, beautiful.
Yeah, that's it.
Beautiful.
It's all the things, but that's probably
That's a great answer.
It's
the simple things.
The simple things for me is a success. Like I said, I could say, drive. No. There's nothing to do with material things. It's a good session in the gym with your mates. It's successful. It's success. A good row in jiu-jitsu, success. A coffee by the beach, it's success. It's what it is. The simple things are what makes me more happy is the simple things. Don't get me wrong, I like those first class flights too, but the simple things is what actually touch me more.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
I feel like we've covered a bit of these, but I'm going to ask it just in case there's something we haven't touched. So let's talk outside of work. Now, I know there's skating, I know there's surfing. You love your physical stuff.
Not much more skating.
We were talking about this the other day.
Got to protect my body these days.
Yeah. I still try and get out there and do a couple of ollies and some kickflips, but certainly the old joints and the knees and the falling off and the elbows.
You no longer just kind of have a stack. It becomes a fall.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And then it becomes a physio appointment, a chiropractor.
The concrete just...
It's not as soft as it used to be.
But I guess with those sort of things, what keeps you grounded? Is it your your family, your hobbies? Is it something else? What's out there for you? What is the outside of work?
Jiu-jitsu.
Oh,
I feel like there's going to be a few things. But
above all is God.
yep, that's sort of what.
That's the foundation, man. And then you got your gym, your jiu-jitsu, your work. You're building. I love leadership. I love building a serving culture. How can I serve? You got all that, building people to success. Those people. But number one's God.
Yep.
That's it. For me, if there was no God, there would be no Lima.
Yep.
I might be depressed then.
Yep.
Yeah.
That gives you your
That's
push.
my
that
foundation.
keeps you grounded, and that's what drives.
That's my foundation.
Lima and Shane off to the future and where he goes.
Yeah.
About things
So that's always every doubt, and then it's faith that we can get through.
Yep.
So the faith just beats every doubt that I have in my mind. Sometimes, I don't know if I can get through this. As you can.
Yep.
Awesome. So the fact, man, that I'm not here to talk about religion. It's just I really needed that. I need the higher power sometimes, and then that's what get me through. And obviously, I can't live without a gym.
Yep.
Can't live without pushing weights. I can't do it. I just cannot do it.
Neither can Scotty.
Yeah,
I'm giving it a go, but I had a physio
it.
appointment yesterday and my back's cooked day.
You need your whatever you do. Jiu-jitsu helped me a lot.
Yeah.
It's jiu-jitsu is very similar in business. A successful businessman is that guy who never give up.
Yep.
A black belt in jiu-jitsu is the white belt that never give up.
Yep.
So it taught me a lot in business. So you go and push heavy in the gym. Life is pushing you back. And then you go, now put more weight. Let's go. So you kind of, the gym, and obviously my family, my mom, my two sisters, my wife. I love my wife. I got some good people around, good friends. So
Makes the difference, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It really does.
and I'm very happy with other people's success, man. I'm really cheers for their success because I believe if the other people are success, they won't shine your success down.
Yep.
So if your success, we can, hey man, look at this, look what I'm doing. Oh, amazing, look what I'm doing. It's good.
Yeah, I think so.
Powerful, man. So we really need to, if you're a business owner, you need to grow people. Yep. You cannot grow your business by not growing people. So that's
exactly right.
I'm happy when I see that guy that was a scaffolder now running a pre-start.
Yep.
I feels my heart. Yep. I'm like, man, I did it. I got it right. So yeah, that's
Mate, I want to come work for Lima, mate. Like I just hear you say this stuff, and I'm like, I'm drawn in. I know nothing about scaffolding. I've never had.
You'd be good at it,
but I'm like, mate,
you'd be good at it.
You'd be fucking good at it, right?
5 boards up.
Maybe 10 boards.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
But I just have to be on night shift though, because I can't be out in the sun with my Celtic complexion. But mate, no, that's awesome. You sound like an unreal boss.
You've got
you're not just a boss, but you're like an unreal leader or
man.
mentor. I'm sure for many as well. That's awesome. Love it.
I think I'd like to finish the question.
Go.
Just also saying that we're from Perth, right?
Yep.
So I believe Perth need us. We need to grow the city. If there wasn't myself,
it's growing.
You
look at the house prices.
Building, yeah. But if there's not us building the place, paying taxes, high taxes, by the way, thank you to the government. But we need to be, as a business owners, man, we need to build this city together.
Yep.
And in those days,
Do you want to go back to residential and commercial construction?
No. But those days that you in doubt.
Yep.
You just remember, man, you're a greatest citizen to this city.
Yeah, bro.
And this city need you.
Powerful.
And keep it going.
I love it.
That's it, bro.
Shane, I've actually got one last question for you.
Okay.
You got any more? You're done?
Go with your question, because
Okay.
I think we've kind of answered a little bit. But yeah.
Beautiful. The next 12 to 18 months for Lima, because in the next 12 to 18 months, so we just had a guest in a few days ago with Scotty, and that's Gold Mining Solutions. And what he said, which was crazy, and I hope the best for them, but he said, so they've got 26 staff, and in the next 12 to 18 months, they want to put on another 25 staff. They want to just grow exponentially. They want 50 staff in the next 12 to 18 months. So we're going to get them back. And I said to him, mate, I'm holding you to account. You know, like if you want to push and drive for that sort of success, that's amazing. 100% growth. Awesome. So what have you got for us? I want to hear something outlandish, but something that's achievable.
No. First is solidify Lima as a great provider.
Yep.
Scaffold, we're still a new company, so it's day by day, step by step. In WA, we are in conversation with biggest mining in the world, but just solidify their name as a great niche provider. And also we will establish our Queensland branch in the next 6 months.
Awesome.
So we are expanding to Queensland. We're already there now, but we are more putting a lot of effort and investment on Queensland. As you know, the Olympics is coming up. And I've got a great support here from the association, Scaffolding Australian Association. They're based in Queensland, and then now welcome me there to start doing some great business in Queensland. That's on the next 6 months. Obviously, 12 months is to grow the team to, I would say by 12 months, we should have about 50 people in the field every day.
Beautiful.
Solid. Not saying the project that goes up and down, but solid 50 people. Expand our footprint into the different areas, oil and gas and stuff like that. But 18 months, we're probably looking around 100 man in the field.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah, that's
great growth potential.
And that's inevitable.
Yep.
I'm not even pushing this. This is what it is.
Yep.
It's just we just continue to do what we're doing right now. It's inevitable. We'll get there.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, mate, thank you very much for coming in and spending the time with us. We've unpacked some heaps of awesome content, man.
Thank you, man.
I think the viewers will really be able to see something great in you. You know, I see something great in you. I see something great in Lima. I can't wait to watch the progress in the next 12 to 18 months. Yeah. Scotty, thanks again, bro.
Mate, thank you for having me.
appreciated.
Shane, thanks for the chat, mate. I genuinely enjoyed it. It was that was a
Same.
lot of fun. It was very informative. It was inspiring, mate. I feel
Thank you.
I feel motivated.
Yeah,
to chat to you, mate.
Let's go.
That's the next thing. You're gonna have Shane Lima's motivational,
You could be doing that
programs
right now.
out there.
Straight to the gym. Let's go. Straight to the gym.
I love it. I love everything you stand for. I love everything you're doing with your company, mate. I wish you nothing but the absolute best for the future.
Yes.
I'm honoured to be here with you too. Great blokes. It's good connect to great blokes.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and like the same with you, man. I've seen the vibe, the energy. I'll get some of the energy as well. Yourself, Josh, get some of the energy for me, and I'll add it to my my tools.
Yep.
You know, let's go.
Awesome.
Let's go.
Well, thanks very much for tuning into another episode on The Gold Room. Let us know if you want Shane to come in and co-host a couple of episodes. Let's see if you want him to bring that energy that he's got, and while we interview other guests that come on the show. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.